Hi, I'm Ritesh. I've lived and worked in Hyderabad for the last 15 years. Amidst our busy lives and city's chaos, my family and I found a serene escape at Alakananda, a place that brings us closer to nature and to each other as a family. We own a plot in Alakananda, and while we have stayed here many times, we always look forward to coming back here. In fact, this past weekend, we drove down from Hyderabad, a pleasant 3-hour drive, and were greeted by the fresh morning air and silent sounds of nature. A morning walk kick-started our day, a simple yet priceless joy we miss out in the city. After that, we took a scenic boat ride to the historic Muktyala temple, a spiritual experience that was both calming and rejuvenating. For the first time in our life, we actually saw a temple which had two Nandi statues. What was equally fascinating was that the smaller temple below gets submerged in the river for 6 months in a year. And the pujari told us that the gods control the river to decide when they want to be worshipped by the humans. I thought that was a beautiful way to think of a natural phenomena. Neighboring the Muktyala fort, this 1100-year-old temple is located at the tip of Uttar Vahini on Krishna River, which undoubtedly is considered very auspicious. Even the name Muktyala is because one can attain mukti by settling down here. There are 4 more famous temples around here and even Buddhist relics nearby. Returning home from the temple, we enjoyed a hearty lunch at the clubhouse, followed by some quiet time as I finished up some pending work. We then spent the afternoon under mango trees, playing some board games and catching up on light reading. Coincidentally, in the book I was reading, a famous CEO quoted his best advice on overcoming difficulties is actually to take time to step back and surround yourself with nature. In the evening, my son took up horse riding classes guided by the in-house jockey trainer at Alakananda, an activity that is as unique, as beautiful with the river as a backdrop. Meanwhile, my wife and I got some me time and enjoyed quiet time on the riverfront, watching the fishing boats at the mesmerizing sangam of Krishna and Paleru rivers. As the sun set on the river, we were tempted again and quickly hopped onto a boat to get to the sandbars in the middle of the river. It was really nice to get our feet in the sand and enjoy a private beach vibe just 3 hours from Hyderabad, which I never imagined. I realized that when the river is not full, it also has its own charm. Surrounded by these 2 rivers and forest lands, and no one else around, it was truly a privilege to enjoy the river like it was our own private space. We still couldn't get enough of the river, as you can imagine, and ended the day with dinner on riverfront with stars keeping us company. By the way, when was the last time you actually looked up and saw a sky full of stars? The next day we drove through the early morning fog across Pulichintala Dam to go on to a beautiful hike in the reserve forest on other side of the Krishna River, which we had been seeing frankly on the earlier day. It was a short 2-kilometer hike through the lush forest to a small Shiva temple on the top of a huge hill. Legend has it that long time ago, a great Maharishi meditated here for a very long time, and the Swayambhu Shivling appeared out of the ground. As we climbed up, we were surrounded by the Pulichintala Dam and reservoir on one side and 31,000 acres of forest on the other side. On the third side, with a pair of binoculars, we could see Alakananda. It really felt surreal that we actually own a piece of this paradise. And it makes me proud that we have such beautiful places to be explored in our own backyard rather than going to some other countries. Our friend even enjoyed an epic meditation session on cliff overlooking the Krishna River and Pulichintala Reservoir. On our return, we walked around the beautiful 40 acres botanical gardens filled with lush plantations. My son has probably never seen so many varieties of fruit trees in one place. Forget him, I don't think I have seen either. We found some interesting chikus and some sitafal. He even climbed some trees to pick up juicy amlas, a joy we have completely missed out from our own childhood. And it's just lovely to see such giant banyan trees preserved as they are. So after this, we then enjoyed a picnic with our freshly plucked fruits under the kala jamun trees, with butterflies giving us company, laughing, relaxing, and creating memories that I don't think any city life can offer. Just completely slowing down and disconnecting. We even tried our hand at farming and planting some vegetables at Botanical Gardens in Alakananda, and just enjoyed getting our hands dirty to touch and feel the soil. It's truly a joy to be able to see where our food comes from. As our son took his horse riding classes again, my wife and I got to spend some quality time exploring the landscape and canal inside the property. As our weekend came to a close, we couldn't resist going out to the river again. So my son and I just hopped onto a kayak to enjoy the sunset on Krishna River, spending some really great father-son quality time. There are still many things we are yet to enjoy at Alakananda. They have multiple sport amenities like box cricket, beach volleyball coming up, and there are a lot more places to visit, including famous temples and a heritage fort. More than us, my son is most excited to keep coming back here to enjoy his horse riding classes, water sports, and boundless nature with massive open spaces. In fact, I'm not at all surprised that he doesn't even like coming back to the city. So this is how we enjoyed our weekend amidst unspoiled nature at Alakananda. Whether it's the peaceful walks, spiritual experiences, adventure treks, or thrilling activities, Alakananda has something for everyone, from grandparents to grandkids. No wonder the promoter of the project gave it the tagline Alakananda, where life restarts. Jahan zindagi fir se shuru.